Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are and whenever you're listening. I want to congratulate you on taking steps towards bettering yourself, making yourself a professional. This is Mortgage Mindset. Today we are going to continue our Meet the Team series. Last week we had a great talk with Eric. Today we are going to talk with Sherry of the Sherry Riano team. What's up, Sherry?
No, what's going on out there in the big world? Want to learn about the Miss Sherry Riano?
Yeah, we want to find out, what makes you tick? Where are you from? Just the whole process of 24 years in this field, and maybe even just a little bit about before of where you came from. So let's kind of go ahead and just get started. Professionally, where did you start out at? How'd that start?
Well, in my prior career, I kind of got capped in where I could go and what I could do, and I was told that I was at the top of the peak of the industry, and I felt like I was not at a peak of the industry. So I found a new profession, and that was mortgage lending. And so I became a loan officer. Back in the day, when I initially started, there were no licensing requirements. Okay, There was none.
I love that every year.
Yeah, man. I went to a training, a 2-day training in Texas, came home. I was a loan officer. Oh, Lord, I should have been a loan officer. But anyway, I was. But it did teach me a lot of things about how I wanted things to be done and done the right way. So it really is one of the best things that ever happened to me. It's also in this profession has brought me my love of my life, and we've been married for 21 years now this year. So, it's given me a lot of great things. I've made tons of friendships, lifelong friends, family members that, I wouldn't have. And I call them family members. I know that they're legitimately not per se blood, but, that doesn't mean that they're not family. So, this profession has been such a blessing to me. And, so that's kind of why I've been so passionate about doing it.
Yeah. When you started out, did you have like a mentor or someone like that in that role that kind of helped guided you? Or was this like a
school of hard knocks? And boy, I knocked it. Woo! Knocked it hard. But good. Yeah, I mean, I didn't even get any coaching for my career till about, I think it was 2013.
Okay.
That's when I actually
So
hired a
second
coach.
half of that.
I went the first half, man, rough.
Just
rough. But, I was lucky enough in my career that I started as a loan officer. The company I was working for, unfortunately, closed their doors.
Okay.
Of course, all of us in this business know how that goes. We've all had that joy.
Yeah.
At some point, if you've worked here long enough, you've had the joy. So I went to work for a small little company in the area. It was called D&J Mortgage. A lot of you probably know it if you ever listen to sports radio. Gordon Miller was the owner of that company, and he needed a processor for a new loan officer he hired, and so I became his processor.
Okay.
And what I learned in the process is how to actually do the business.
Mm-hmm.
So, I would process the file from start to finish, make sure the application was complete, submit it to underwriting, get it to closing, get docs drawn, everything. So I really learned the whole view of the business.
Yeah. Which is kind of unique from my perspective because, me and you talk a lot throughout the week, and most of our conversations are sales related. Like, locking a loan, making a new relationship, securing a partnership or something like that. So it's not as much operations, just being in my role that I'm in. I don't hear as much about operations or these conversations with you. But it's interesting to hear that's where you started, because I feel like, you're who I go to when there's a sales question.
Yeah. So, I learned a lot about operations, and it was important to me to understand the process, understand the relationship between the processor and the underwriter, and build that relationship. And I did it very well. I mean, at one point, and again, I want to go back. Now, this was the early 2000s before all of the legislation and all the craziness came in.
Yeah.
I was closing 130 to 140 loans a month.
Wow, West.
Yeah, and it was great, man. It was crazy times. But you won't do that now in the kind of pace and the way that we did it back then, because we have a lot more regulations. And honestly, we needed them. Yeah. So, that was a lot, but it taught me a lot. I have touched a lot of paper, but I've touched a lot of lives. I'm still working with people that I worked with when I was working at D&J Mortgage. Mm-hmm. So it's just kind of funny how they all stick with you and they follow you, and it's about the relationship you build.
Absolutely. I mean, I'll get on the phone with a client who says they're a past client. I mean, I've been with you for 3 years, and I'm like, you ain't a past client that I know of. This is a past client from 5, 10, 15 years ago
Yep.
that's still coming back.
Yep. I still know their kids. I still, they send me their kids. They send me their parents. They send me their friends, and it's just how you treat people.
Yeah.
And so, but you've got to do it and you've got to do it right.
Well, at some point along your career, and I don't even know what year you were in, you decided, I no longer want to do this by myself, or I no longer, and maybe it was a volume, can do this. You started to build a team.
Yep.
So explain why that started, when that started, what was your mindset behind that? Because, we explain a lot of times when we're talking to a new agent, we're set up very much like a real estate team where you're like the BIC and, you have, listing agents and buyers agents, stuff like that underneath. Correct. And we all kind of have our roles. Explain, your rationale for that and when that was.
Well, it was back in 2012. We could see the what we thought was the end of refi booms.
Okay.
And I had done very well in refinancing and had really built a good reputation. I was an exclusive person at SAS and just a lot of different things, different vendors that were out there that I was able to they just loved my service, and all their employees were like, if you're going to use somebody, use her. So it was really, really helpful for my business. But we could see, or we thought we were going to see the end of the refinance boom. And at that point, I didn't have a lot of purchase business. I had not done a ton. And so I just started looking around, going out, doing different events, meeting realtors, trying to understand realtors' pains, their strengths, all the things that they were dealing with, right? Because I was like, if I'm going to be a partner, then I want to be a true partner. If I don't understand their world, I can't be one. So getting into it, I realized they work evenings and weekends.
Yeah.
Right? There's not, hey, call me Monday morning at 9:00 when I get in because I'm the bank. No. That's not when an agent really needs support. They need us, after hours. That's why we've created what we created here at the Sherry Riano team. By the way, we work 8 to 8, 7 days a week. Just want to let you know that. But I built, true though, but we built it that way.
Yeah. Because
that's when my agents are out and I want to be a partner to my agents. So 2013, actually 2012, Chris was my first hire.
Chris Brazell, that's our director of operations.
Yes, he was my first hire. And Chris and I just, locked down and just started going out and meeting realtors and doing business. And word got around. Really, my relationships that I have today are some of my first relationships. And word got around, hey, I'm using her. You should use her. Hey, they do a great job.
Yeah.
And it was important to me to do those things. One of the things that anybody in this town, whether they like me or not, because some people just don't agree with everybody, they will tell you that they know this. If I tell you it's going to get done, it's done. Yeah. There's not a question of answer. And I don't hide behind a phone. If you call me, I'm going to call you back.
Yep.
My phone's ringing, I need to answer it. If you got a problem, I'm in front of it. I want to understand it and take care of it because that is what a true partner does. They don't hide. I always wonder and look around at certain agents and I'll hear them, they'll be, 3 or 4 of them gathered up having coffee or whatnot. And, sometimes you don't even realize because you're in public, you're talking and you don't know who's sitting behind you, but to say, oh, well, I use so-and-so, but on this transaction, they wouldn't even call me back. Okay. If your loan officer during an issue will not call you back, you need to rethink that relationship. That's not a relationship.
Yeah.
Right? I need to be in the front line with you, fighting this transaction with you, making sure we're giving the best service to the client.
Right.
And so that's another reason, build a team.
Yeah. Okay. That's awesome. And talk about like today, talk about where your team is today, where you are today, what's your role day in and day out, just all that.
Well, my team today is 6 people strong. I'm number 7. Right now I have the best team I think I've ever had.
That's awesome.
I've got Chris. He's handling all the operations. I've got you in sales. You're the director of sales. You handle that. Jeff's handling all the back end processing along with Jordan. Christy's up front, handling anybody that wants to connect with me or build a relationship with me. And Eric, who is our inside lead person, who is fabulous and amazing. He had to take a break from us, and we really realized how valuable he was to our team.
Yeah.
And he's back in that seat. And so, it's been amazing for us.
It was great getting to know him a little bit more last week on the show.
Yeah.
It was kind of nice just hearing a little bit from his side, just where he's been.
He's had a wonderful and adventureful life.
He has. And we get in every day, and I mean, we hit the floor running just about when we get in here. But it was kind of nice just taking 15, 20 minutes and just talking to him about where he's been and things he's seen. That's cool.
Yeah, the things that we provide here are so much different. We build portals for agents to have immediate flyers. We provide credits for listings. I mean, we really try to get out there with the agent. And, one of the reasons that when I say this very humbly, but we close 20 deals a month on average and help 20 families, because that's what we're doing.
Mm-hmm.
It is the fact that we are team players.
Yeah.
And we are always thinking about our real estate partners, our financial partners that give us business, our past clients. I don't take anything given lightly, and we are very blessed based off of where we are and where we're going to continue to grow. We have big plans. We are not stopping the growth.
That's right.
You and I have big plans. And so the fact that we've taken the time and made the goals, made the decisions, and now we're just moving forward.
That's it.
So, but yeah, that's my day to day is to be here. I'm here for my realtors. I'm here for my clients, but I'm most definitely here for my team.
Yeah.
Yep. Because without the team, this does not work.
Yeah.
And I'm very proud to say that I've got seasoned people that have been here with me. And, they always say I can fire them, but they won't go home.
That's
so
right.
that's always, I think, a good sign that we have a well-oiled team. But without the people that I've surrounded myself with, it would not be the team that it is today.
Yeah. And just speaking from, 9-10 years in the game, I don't think there's a day that goes by that myself, Jeff, or Chris, one of us is going to reach out to you to get your opinion on something, because I mean, when you get as many applications as we have, when you handle as many loans as we have, and when agents reach out with just, hey, I need to ask you something. I have a wild situation. You're going to come up with stuff that, like, I haven't seen in 10 years, but you might have seen in 24 years, and usually you have. So, just having that influence and that sounding board to bounce things off of, very instrumental in making this thing work and it being as successful as we are.
Yes, and we're going to keep on being successful.
That's it.
And if there's somebody out there that you have questions about, or you can always reach out to us. A lot of people, they have their go-to lender, and we get that, and we love that. How I will tell you this, there's plenty of business out there for all of us.
Right.
All I want is to make sure that your business is being represented the way that you would want it to be. And if you ever had a question or want to understand or go through a transaction with us, please send it over. You'll be amazed at what we do. And not that others don't do it well, because they do. I believe there's quite a few loan officers in this market that I respect, and I appreciate them. But I know that there are some that are not quite at the level that some of the agents deserve. It's
right.
Really, play at your best level, or you kind of need to regroup and re-educate yourself and then come back out and play.
That's it. Well, Sherry, thanks for being on today. Thank you for listening. If you've enjoyed the content today, if you find value in things like this, hit that like, hit that subscribe button. We're here every Wednesday talking about something in the market. You're always going to get a market update. You're going to know a little bit more about the team. We want you to know who we are so that when you call, you feel comfortable with the person answering the phone. We don't just want to be a voice. We want to be in a relationship with you. We want to have a partnership with you. We'll see you next week. The Mortgage Mindset Podcast is hosted by the Sherry Riano team at Clear Mortgage, powered by City First Mortgage Services, LLC. Sherry Riano's NMLS ID is 71774. Visit us at thesherryrianoteam.com for more information about our team. The opinions expressed on this show by the hosts and their guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of Clear Mortgage or City First Mortgage Services. Please note that Clear Mortgage is powered by City First Mortgages, LLC, and their NMLS ID is 3117. Clear Mortgage and City First Mortgage Services is not an agency of the federal government and is not acting on behalf of or the direction of HUD FHA. City First Mortgage Services is an equal housing lender. Programs, rates, and terms subject to change without notice. Underwriting terms and conditions apply.